Hey everybody, Backpack Hack here, coming at you with another trail tip, and I'm going to show you shooting enthusiasts how to build a very inexpensive and easy to make target stand for when you go out to the range and there's nothing on the range to put your target up against. I find that a lot in a couple of private ranges that I go to, that there's nothing available because you aren't paying to use it, so there's no money available to make a stand. So I make my own, and these are actually very, very simple to make. The first one you make is going to be about $20, and it will hold a full-size target for you. After that, they start getting cheaper, mainly because you have to buy a bundle of lath. This was like $9 at my local hardware store. You also need a piece of 1.5 PVC. Buy the cheapest 1.5 you can find. Doesn't matter whether cellular core or not, just buy the cheapest. That's all you need. You will also need a couple of 1.5 elbows. Again, these don't have to be plumbing elbows, just the cheapest elbows you can find. A couple of 1.5 tees. Again, they don't have to be sanitary tees like plumbers normally use. They can just be straight tees like this. You also need, to put this together on the range, some screws and a screwdriver. For this demonstration, I'm going to use my cordless drill to speed it up, but when I go to the range, I just take a regular screwdriver. You also need a marker and a tape measure. This is something you probably have at home, and a way to cut your pipe. I'm going to be using my Sawzall, but you can use a hacksaw. If you have one of those ratchet cutters that'll handle 1.5 inches, that's fine. You can use a regular wood saw. It'll be a little rough and you have to dress the ends up a little bit, but you can use that. If nothing else, a piece of string. Yes, you can cut PVC with a piece of string. So let's go ahead and get started now that we've got everything laid out here. First off, I'm going to take my marker, and I need to make some marks on my pipe. And I need to mark that at 18 inches. 36 inches, 54 inches, 72 inches, 90 inches. I'm going to slide this forward, come back into my bush here, and 105. What this is going to give me is 5 pieces of pipe that are 18 inches long and 2 pieces that are 15 inches long. So let's go ahead and get the Sawzall out, and I'll just go ahead and cut these, and I'll speed the video up so you aren't getting there bored watching me make all these cuts. So I'll cut that in half, and I have 2 15-inch pieces. That's the hardest part of this job. Clean these off just a little bit to make it easy to show you how to put this together. I know, glare in the camera. I've heard that joke before, so don't worry about it. And here's all you have to do to put them together. Take 2 of the 18-inch pieces, put them into a T. Put an elbow on one end so it turns along here, so you have this piece sticking up. Another 18-inch piece. Another elbow to come back. Another 18-inch piece. Another T, and your last 18-inch piece. So you have something that looks like this. I straighten it out a little bit. That's your base. This is what keeps the whole thing from falling over. The 2 T's, I put the 2 15-inch pieces in. See how easy this is to put together? You don't want to glue it. You want to make it so it'll come apart for 2 reasons, and I'll get into that later on. There's your stand, all ready to go. Now all you need to do is drop a piece of lath into each one of those. And take another piece of lath. And like I say, when I'm out on the range, I don't take my cordless drill with me. I just use a hand. Now, if you wanted to, you could just use it just like that. But I prefer to do one other thing. And that is make the stand a little bit taller. Get my last screw. And of course, when you're out on the range, you want to have some extra parts, extra screws in case you lose one or something like that. And that's all there is. You're ready to staple your target up right to this right here. Now, if you want to, if you find that this is too wide, all you got to do is cut this piece down here to whatever width you need to make these the width you want. If your target isn't this tall, you can always put another piece of lath here and get the right height that you want. So these are totally adjustable and literally totally disposable. Let's say you're out on the range and you hit this piece of lath and it splinters it. That's why you want to carry some extra pieces of lath. Some of these I've used before. Some of these have holes in them where I've already had these out to the range. But that's the beauty of this system, is you just get a bundle of lath. And once you make one, which is about $20, $22, depending on where you buy your material, once you get your piece of lath, then all you have to do is buy the pipe and the 4 fittings, and you've got multiple targets. Another nice thing about it is, because you are not gluing this together, remember I said there's a reason for it? First off, you don't want to glue it together, because if you glue it together, you can't take it back apart. The problem with gluing it together that way is it not only makes it difficult to actually use one of these and carry it, you don't want to have to carry multiples of these, especially if you're wanting to go to the range and practice defensive shooting against multiple targets at different distances. You don't want to have to carry 2 or 3 or 4 of these like this. By just friction fitting, you can take them apart. Just like this. That'll all fit into a box or something similar that you can take out to the range. Plus, you are putting these things right in the line of fire. So eventually you're going to shoot something on this. So I'd suggest you have enough parts to make 2 or 3 of these. So in case you accidentally have a flyer, or you jerk just wrong and you hit something on here, and let's say you shatter one of these, you just take it off, grab another one, put it back on, stick it back together, stand it back up, and you keep on shooting. Same thing with the lath. Get a whole bundle of lath, and that way you can not only have extra pieces of lath for when you're at the range, so if you splinter one of these and it fails on you, you've got some extra pieces to make a on-site repair. Second off, that way you can have multiple targets. So it was about $20, $22 to put the first one of these together, and after that it's like anywhere from $10 to $12 just to make a second one, because you don't have to buy the lath. You're just buying the piece of pipe and 4 fittings. So this is Backpack Hack coming at you with this trail tip. Be safe out there, and I'll see you out on the range.